Hi, Emily.
Hi.
How's it going?
Very normal, I think.
No, nice. School's almost over. Woo. I just want to ask you a few questions about your experience at Remedy Music School and just hear your thoughts. And this is for us to do, but also because if anyone happens to want to watch your interview, it will help to have your particular perspective. So how have you found your experience in school this year has affected your life? So this doesn't necessarily mean musically,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Like, it's definitely given me more things to think about and more things for, like, planning-wise to kind of think about where I'm going with things. I think it's encouraged some more regular habits and routine because, like, with music, trying to practice it and get things done is kind of, you know, gets me doing it more, keeps me more accountable for those types of things.
That's good. I mean, I guess when you think of it in relation to your art.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're a total artist, so it's probably going to be in your life forever.
Yes.
And it'll always be something that is you need space for, but how do you juggle, right? Okay, are you capable, like, do you feel like you could summarize what you've learned in a nutshell, like the thing that would be the most impacting for you in participating this year, like what you might have learned or gained musically or artistically?
I think I spent a lot of time working on my voice personally this year. That's kind of been my focus just because in my own writing music and trying to do covers, I found a lot of blockades in my voice where it's like I wanted to do something but I just didn't have the vocal talent to do it. So I think this year especially I've just been really focusing on trying to improve those things and figure out how I can make my voice do what I want it to do and how to use it in a way that makes me feel proud and makes me feel content with what I'm creating.
Sure. And can you, just in case, you know, people don't read about what you are capable of and what you are doing as an artist just in general in life, how does singing come into your art? What do you like to do?
So I write songs. So I write songs and I play ukulele and piano sometimes. Not great at piano, but I can play chords and that's all I need.
Nice.
And for me, when I'm writing my own music, or even if there's a song, I generally sing originals more than I sing covers, but if I do sing a cover, you know, whenever I'm in that creative space, I always want to be able to have a sound that I like, or be able to create certain intensity or tones or accents to it that really suit what I'm trying to portray with my music. And sometimes if I'm not able to, you know, hit a certain note that I might want to, or do a certain accent like a growl or a grace note or something, and things like that.
You're gonna be in the interview midnight?
It's it can be frustrating because I can hear those things in my head, but then I can't produce them myself.
Sure.
So spending time working on it and developing it, or especially really developing that upper register and getting it sounding a bit more controlled, and some of those accents that I can add makes it so that I can actually get the things in my head out of my mouth and into the music.
Nice, that's good. Well, come on, midnight. Would you have any advice for someone who's thinking about attending the school, like any thoughts on what they might learn or why you think it would be a good idea for someone to attend?
Well, I think if you're someone that really wants to work on like developing something, it can be really good because I know it's, and especially seeing you work with me and with other students, there's a lot of different places where people are in music. Like I know I've spent a long time doing music, but some people haven't spent hardly any time and you still work with them really well. So I think it's a really good balance of different levels of music.
Sure, so like in other words, wherever anyone is at, they probably could find a place to learn in there. That's good. And then, do you have any advice for someone who's learning to sing for the first time or learning to play an instrument?
Any advice? Be confident and don't take yourself too seriously.
Nice.
I think for myself, like, one thing that I've had to learn to do in a lot of areas is just recognize that, you know, one, people don't actually expect as much of me as I expect from myself. And sometimes laughing, having fun, making it enjoyable is what's going to keep you doing it. If you're not confident in it, like you're never going to get there, especially vocally,
Mm.
because there comes a point where like you just have to sing that note, and it's not always going to sound pretty or nice or the way you want it to, but if you don't practice it, it will never sound pretty or nice or the way you want it to.
Mhm.
So being able to embrace voice cracks, or sometimes if your throat's a bit sore, being able to really like still practice and keep going even when it's not sounding exactly how someone else sounds.
Mhm.
It's really important if you want to develop that skill, because if you don't ever practice it or do it, you'll never get it.
Sure. And so yeah, confidence in yourself and not necessarily comparing yourself to others.
Yeah, you're never going to sound like a recording of somebody else.
Sure, that's good advice. Do you think that performing in front of people has helped you in other areas that aren't related to music?
Yes, definitely. I did a whole section on this in an assignment I did in school once,
Yeah.
where we had to talk about music in our life, and I talked about performing and how it's not just about getting past nerves, but it's a real skill, and it goes along with so many other things in life. You know, speaking and articulating your thoughts and ideas are so important. Being able to perform, it's one way that we articulate what we want to say. It's not the same as speaking, but it's, you know, for someone who expresses themselves that way, that's how we articulate our thoughts and our ideas.
Nice.
Being able to learn how to do that is really important for you as you get older and you have relationships with people, or you
True.
apply for jobs. Knowing
So
how
are you
to,
saying that because you've experienced that?
Yeah,
Neat.
yeah.
That's really
Knowing how
good.
to take like your thoughts and get them out of your brain in a way
That's
that's productive and helpful
Nice.
is really, really important.
Very good. And then, do you have anything that you would say about your experience with me working with you as your teacher?
Yeah, I really like you as a teacher. I think you make an environment that's very safe, where like I feel very comfortable to try things and do things. I think there's not like a lot of pressure, which is good for me because I am so busy with other things.
Plus, as
I
you said,
know.
you're hard on yourself, so
Yeah.
you don't need any more of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so like I get very, very stressed about things
Mhm.
sometimes, and with my own mental health not being great, it can be difficult to get out and like do things
Mm-hmm.
and try to balance those things that I have to do with everything else that I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think sometimes having someone that isn't going to be upset with you or angry with you if you're not participating or getting involved as much as you might want to is good, because there are lots of areas where I do have people that want me to be more involved and that want more and more, and like I can't give everything to everyone.
Of course, yeah. Do you think too that like music being something that gives to your life is obviously, for me as a teacher, I want to, I guess, give people the experience of that. So
Yeah.
if you know that and that is how your teacher teaches you, then music doesn't become one of those other things that you have to
Yes.
feel, you know?
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, thank you for your time.
Mhm.